Football is a phenomenal sport. Due to the great things we see our favorite players do on the pitch, soccer attracts a great deal of attention from the fans on a daily basis. In its more than a century of existence, football has provided us with numerous extraordinary moments, but not everything in this sport is positive. Football has a dark aspect that causes people to cringe when they recall past events. Hello everyone, and welcome to Sport Swirl. Today, we'll be looking at unusual moments in football. Yeah, you heard it right. Mwepu Ilunga find the weirdest way to stop a free kick, 1974. We begin with an equally fascinating and tragic tale. Zaire, now known as the Democratic Republic of the Congo, qualified for the 1974 World Cup, contested in West Germany as the first black African nation. After failing to defeat their first two opponents in the group stage, Scotland and Yugoslavia, Zaire had the miserable fortune of facing the reigning champions, Brazil. The country's leader, Mobutu Sese Seko, warned the players that if they lost by 4 goals or more to the Little Canary, there would be dire consequences. Brazil were leading 2-0 with 10 minutes remaining when they were awarded with a free kick on the outskirts of the penalty area. As Rivellino prepared to take the free kick, the referee blew the whistle, prompting Zaire defender Mwepu Ilunga to rush out of the wall and send the ball upfield. He subsequently claimed his actions were a protest against the country's dictator, but he was only issued a yellow card for his efforts. Marcelo Bielsa forces his team to let rivals score. 2019. A few years ago, during an English Championship match between Leeds United and Aston Villa, this occurred. The contest was won by Leeds after Mateusz Klich scored a controversial goal. While opposing players waited for medical assistance from one of their colleagues, Klich continued to play and capitalize on a scoring opportunity. Immediately following the goal, Aston Villa players and coaching staff became enraged at Klich's actions. Marcelo Bielsa demanded that his team allow the villains to score the goal that drew the scoreboard after observing his players' poor behavior. The game ended 1-1, but El Loco demonstrated why he's so unique in the world of football. Eden Hazard kicks a ball boy, 2013. Yes, Eden Hazard did something dubious during his first few days with Chelsea, which is not what we're accustomed to seeing him do on the field. Before becoming one of the greatest players in Europe, Hazard was frequently in the news for the wrong reasons. In a 2013 FA Cup match against Swansea City, the Belgian midfielder was attempting to retrieve the ball from a ball boy who was lying on top of the ball with no evident intention of returning it. In the end, Eden chose to kick him in the side to compel him to yield. His actions garnered him a red card and a great deal of criticism. Thankfully, he matured and is now one of the greatest footballers on the continent. Eric Cantona kicks a Crystal Palace fan, 1995. Who is unfamiliar with the king, Eric Cantona? If you're unaware of the existence of one of the fiercest, most talented, and most temperamental strikers in the history of football, we'll introduce him to you through the most famous anecdote about the so-called King of Manchester. The French striker was notorious for his difficult demeanor, to say the least, and was involved in a number of contentious incidents during his time in England. When he arrived at Old Trafford, however, he took things to a whole new level. In 1995, during a game against Crystal Palace, Eric hit a racist fan with a rare kung fu strike. Cantona was ejected from the game and banished for several months. Referee Stuart Atwell awards the craziest phantom goal ever, 2008. It is common knowledge that referees have a difficult job, but when you see the errors some of them make, you just want to see them all perish. During a match between Watford and Reading in 2008, Stuart Atwell ensured his place in the annals of history. Poor history. During the game between the two teams, Reading was awarded a corner kick, which they then took. The ball entered the box, there was a commotion within the box, and out of nowhere, the assistant referee awards the Royals a goal that only he saw. This remains one of the worst errors ever made by a referee. The VAR would have prevented this from happening. Ali Dia makes it to the Premier League with no experience, 1996. Now we're about to venture into the realm of extraordinary peculiarities. This entire saga began as a prank, undoubtedly, but it had the potential to become much more if the prankster had paid closer attention to the finer details. In 1996, Graham Souness in Southampton made an infamous signing that has gone down in history as one of the worst ever. They acquired Ali Dia, who was introduced to the Saints as a Senegalese international, with the explicit endorsement of none other than George Weah, the esteemed Ballon d'Or winner, or so they believe. The individual impersonating Weah managed to convince the Saints to sign Dia. Without conducting any thorough research into the player's background, Southampton welcomed Dia onto their team and even fielded him in a match. However, that's when their fortunes took a nosedive, as they soon discovered that they had become the unwitting victims of a merciless prank involving Ali Dia. Undoubtedly, this incident stands as one of the most profoundly embarrassing moments in the history of any professional football club. Newcastle players fight each other, 2005. In today's world, debates and altercations have become commonplace, but witnessing players from the same team turn against each other remains a rarity. However, in 2005, Newcastle teammates Kieran Dyer and Lee Bowyer exemplified precisely that, creating one of the most unsettling spectacles in recent football history. The exact events leading up to the brawl remain shrouded in uncertainty. Nevertheless, as a cross traveled from Newcastle's side of the field to Villa's, these two players engaged in a heated confrontation that unfolded right before the bewildered eyes of the fans. The scene was so bewildering and peculiar that even rival players had to intervene to separate the combatants, underscoring the extraordinary and enduring nature of this incident. Zinedine Zidane headbutts Marco Materazzi, 2006. The 2006 FIFA World Cup could be characterized as an eccentric tournament. From the group stage onward, peculiar occurrences involving players, referees, and coaching staff captivated our attention. However, it was the final match of the tournament that delivered truly astonishing moments, etching its place in global football history as one of the most renowned and bizarre occurrences. The 2006 World Cup final featured an intense clash between France and Italy. With just 10 minutes remaining in extra time and the score level, an unthinkable event unfolded. Zinedine Zidane, widely regarded as one of the greatest players in the game's history, committed an act that defied belief. He forcefully collided his head with Italy's defender, Marco Materazzi. The impact sent Materazzi crashing to the ground, and Zidane, in his final professional match, received a red card. Undoubtedly, the incident remains as one of the most peculiar and disheartening moments in the annals of football history. So that's all for today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so that you never miss our upcoming videos. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section down below. Stay tuned, and we'll catch you in the next video.